What's up, guys? Hope you all are having a fabulous night. Welcome to day 2 in a row of seeing this ugly mug. It's not centered. Sorry. So as we wait for people to come in and just go over what we're going to talk about tonight. Hey, Heather. What's up, James? So tonight, what we're going to be talking about as everyone comes in, I'm just going to let you know, John, what species is number 1? Well, that's yet to be determined. What's up, Justin? Anthony, what up, brother? All right, so make sure you guys hit that like as you're coming in. Spend a little bit of time. What's up, Earl? We'll spend a little bit of time going through multiple species of snakes this evening. I had a lot of my, a lot of my snakes out today. Excuse me. Nice. And was doing cleaning, and I really started thinking. I actually had a complete different idea of which way I wanted this video to go tonight. I actually wasn't gonna do this. I was gonna do a video on snake bites tonight, and then I thought about it and I was like, I don't really want to get bit. I don't think anyone wants to get bit. Not that it hurts, especially with none of the snakes that I have. They're just not big enough yet. But I think that this was more, what's up, Ray? This was more along my normal line of what should be next. We will actually go over snake bites, what snake bite I think is the worst, minus a venomous, obviously, because I don't carry venom, and I'm not going to do that. Like, you'd have to be fucking stupid. But, what's up, BP Collector? So, we're going to go over a couple of snakes and why I think they're good. And then at the end of the chat, we'll talk about which one I think is the best, and we'll let you guys input what you think is the best along the way, and we'll see and come out as a family, see who is actually the best snake of all time. Is it the ball python? Is it the retic for their sheer size? Or maybe it's the super dwarf because they're kind of the same size as the ball python. Who knows? Could happen. I don't have a super dwarf, so I obviously can't show you those, but I do have 2 retics, so I can show you personality, and they're kind of the size of what a super dwarf would be right now, even though they're just babies. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into it. You guys get a hold of your friends, get them in here. Let's do this. Hit that like. So, number 1 on the list, everybody's favorite, and she just hissed at me. That's awesome. Everybody's favorite, right? Or at least by our group, that's what you would think, is the ball python. Oh, this is my beautiful bamboo blitz girl. And there's a lot of pros for ball pythons, guys. They don't get big. They're very docile. They are extremely easy to take care of. We get in arguments all the time, but if you really think about it, we have a very, very, very large range depending on your area as far as temperature and care and what it really requires with these animals. But also, like I said, it actually depends on your climate because everything changes across the states. But overall, they're really easy to maintain. They're easy to grow. They make beautiful babies, and they're just really easy to handle, right? So, a ball python, I think, is a great beginner snake. Ha ha ha! You're funny. You're very funny, Lindsay. This is my baby. This ain't going nowhere. I'll have her until she goes into the ground. So, ball pythons. What do you guys think? Is a ball python number one? Is a ball python really the best species that we have? You guys go ahead and go in the comments below right now. Tell me what you think. I think she's beautiful. I know that for sure. All right, so we have 3 for balls so far. Four. 5 for balls out of 15. 6 for balls out of 15. 7. So 7 out of 15. So 8 out of 15. So I think that's unanimous between you guys that ball pythons are the best out there. But let's see if I can change your mind. I'm gonna go ahead and pull one out that I don't pull out a lot. Okay, 9, Iron Dog. Alright, so I do use a hook for this one just because he is a little bit cage defensive. But what we have here is a garden phase Amazon tree boa. Look at how freaking cool that face is. We're working on getting his humidity right again because we made some changes to his enclosure. So he was just in the water bowl. So he's a little wet. But everyone gives these guys a bad name as far as what they do and their temperament. But I've been working with this guy for a couple of months and I've never had an issue. He's bit me one time and that was the day I brought him home. I think that they're really amazing. Like, you get to see them out and about because they are a very active species. And I mean, if you're thinking about, what are you doing? See, look at that. It looks like he's about to strike, but he's just seeing, he's measuring things out. Put him up here. No issue. They do have longer teeth than a lot of other snakes, and they do have a reputation for being a little bitey. But I've taken him out to education shows. I've taken him out with my family. My 3-year-old son's held this dude. No issue. So I think they get a really bad rap, but he's become a giant baby since that one bite. Excuse me. I think some of the pros about these guys is they really don't get that big. They do get a little bit girthy if you overfeed them, but overall, he's like a sub-adult is what they would consider him, I guess. But he moves around a lot. He's entertaining to watch. Like, I can sit in my office and just watch him, and I don't have an issue with it. Oh, I got bit. See, I'm talking about you, and now you're gonna bite me. It is what it is. But, so 2 bites, guys, in months. 2 bites. You little jerk. What was that about? Huh? Was I moving too much for you? But really, really freaking amazing animal. And even though I got bit, you could tell, hey, not a big issue. Didn't do anything. Maybe I should have talked about bites tonight. But not a big issue. He didn't do anything to me. I don't have to worry about it. He's freaking awesome. Yeah, he pretty much got the hat. I got a little bit from his bottom jaw, but not enough to do anything. I think they're amazing. If you want something that's a little bit more active, they're really easy to care for. You just got to keep humidity up a little bit. They take smaller meals, so because they are an arboreal species. So I tend to feed this guy one adult mouse about every 7 to 8 days. And then as soon as he poops, I give him another one. Yeah, there's probably a smell on the hat. It has kind of been in storage. You guys know I have a bunch of hats. I run through them, but I've been using my trucker hats as of late. But it just is what it is. So they say they have a temperament. I don't think they do. I think if you want something that's a little bit more active, an Amazon tree boa is pretty freaking amazing. I'll let you get back. Here you go, buddy. Here you go, buddy. Come on. All right. So, speaking of arboreal species, or even semi-arboreal species, let's jump up to the next one. Now, you guys know I had a huge freaking fear of these until recently. Tegus, I have never gone into a monitor species. So, I've done feeding of some monitors, but I've never really had a monitor species, so I think they're pretty cool looking, but that's all I could really put on that subject, unfortunately. One day I probably will. I actually do want to start working with crocodilians at one point. I'd like to work with alligators. They are legal in Texas from what I'm understanding, so maybe if I could find like a dwarf caiman or something, that'd be kind of cool. But so next is the carpet python. I think carpet pythons, they may not be the best for beginners, but if you've spent, it's starting to itch now. Got me like right at the weird hairline. Never had an issue with her. I really want a Malaysian mangrove. Mangroves are kind of cool, man. They're really active as well. I don't have one, but from what I've read and what I've seen, they seem to be really active, and they could be... The only thing that kind of worries me is they are known for eating each other and having a really, really high food response. So, but carpet pythons, maybe not for the beginner, just because they do tend to get a little bit larger. From what I understand, you can average, I think, like 8 to 10 feet, something around there, which for an arboreal snake or semi-arboreal snake is pretty freaking big. But she's been nothing but a sweetheart to me. Never even tried to strike. Watch, that's going to be the cue. We'll know it's the hat if she tries to strike at me too, right? But I love the pattern. I love the colorations that come up on these guys. So I've grown a huge favor for these animals. Carpets have kind of won my heart a little bit. Like I said, I recently was, I say scared, but, oh, my light just died. What are you doing, little girlie? You're all right. Relax. There you go. Until recently, I was nervous about having one. Now, not so much. I actually am very glad I picked one up. I want to eventually probably pick up another one just so I can look at breeding at one point. I'd like to do one season of breeding with them possibly and see where it goes. Just to try to see what happens, see what it's like. But I would say carpet pythons are actually probably my number 2 snake now. And every snake that we're gonna see, they're probably my number 2 snake now. So let's go ahead and move on. Already at 15 minutes, you know I don't like to stay on long. This is gonna probably end up being about a 30-40 minute video. If you gotta run, I absolutely understand. I appreciate everyone that stops in and spends any time here. Make sure you guys are going up, hitting that like button as you come in, just so we can bring more people in. All right, my big girl. You ready, honey? Come here. There we go. Boa constrictors. I love them. Absolutely love them. I love the size. This is actually my first snake when I started keeping again. This was my first snake when I was a kid. I've just always had a fascination with the pattern, with their little mustache. I think the mustache is so cute. What do you guys think about the mustache? I think the mustaches are really cute. But I've just always really had a fascination with boa constrictors. And because of their look, some people, whoa, crazy, what's going on? Some people have found them intimidating. I was gonna run, but the Bible says only the wicked run when no one is chasing them. So exactly. Their pattern is fabulous, I think. The really cool thing is they live in the jungle, right? And so you would think they have this really bright pattern, but they don't. They have these really, really dark browns and blacks, and they blend in with the trees and the bark. But if you're looking up into the sky, you start seeing color, right? So what do you see from the bottom? You see all that color. So I think boa constrictors are an amazing specimen. Definitely one of my top 3 snakes. Definitely. Actually, I'm going to tell you. It's my number 3 snake. It is not the number 1 species. It is the number 3 species for me. You could fight me on it. You could say what you want. But as much as I love these guys, and I will always have one, they do come with a little bit of... They do have a little bit of a issue with disease, where they can carry it and they don't show signs, but it can be passed on to the rest of your collection. So you do have to worry about that. But I think they're freaking amazing animals. I absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. And she's never once tried to bite, never once hissed at me. This girl will be in full blue. I can hold her, do everything I want. What's up, Hollow Road? I can feed her anytime I want. I don't have to worry about a single thing with this girl. She will always just be her, which is what I love about her. It absolutely is one of the biggest reasons. She's probably one of my favorites to have out and really deal with. But this is going to be the struggle, guys, getting her back in. Especially now, because she wants to be out and explore. I probably didn't have her out long enough today, but we'll get her out tomorrow and let her explore and have some time out. Yeah, definitely number 3 on my list. Come here, sweetheart. Come here. Yeah, I know. I See, I was trying to be sneaky and do it without pulling it all the way out. I'm gonna have to pull it all the way out. Come here, young lady. All right, we'll get that back up there in a second. So, next one we have, if you can catch it on here, she's squirmy and crazy. So our little baby hog nose. Now these things are super animated. For where I live in the middle of the desert. So they're super easy to take care of here. Just feed them 2-3 times a week from what I've been told by the breeder I got her from. And ooh, crazy girl. I love how animated they are. Like, she hisses, she blunt strikes, she plays dead. She's just super animated. They don't get very big. You don't have to worry about getting really big meals for them. But something even a child could handle. Now these are semi-venomous, but when you get injected, they're rear fang venomous. So when you get struck and they chew on you, because they have to get it all the way back to their fangs, so they got to chew a little bit. It's like a bee sting, as long as you have an EpiPen in case you're allergic to bee stings or things like that. You'll be fine, not a worry. So this is anaconda, just a normal anaconda. She will get probably about 1.5 feet or so, but not much bigger than that, if that. Right around 1.5 feet, just depending on the genes. But she's pretty cool. I love her. Would say I love the animation in them. They're pretty simple to take care of, but definitely not in the top. Very neat to have as a pet though. I highly recommend getting one as a pet just to try it out, but not in the top. All right, so we'll pull the cranky girl out. I say cranky because she is rather defensive about her enclosure. Not that that ever stops me, but oh, are you in blue? You are in blue. Come here. Come here. Yeah, you're in blue. So we'll show her real quick, but I don't want to keep her out too long. Look at how pretty that retic is. Even in blue. Look at how beautiful that is. Like I said, I don't want to keep her out too long because she is in blue. I use a hook on her just because she is super freaking enclosure defensive, but as soon as you get her out, she's a big baby. So we'll pull her future lover out, and we'll talk about retics, guys. Come here, honey. Here you go. Good. No. No. There you go. Oh, she just musked me. That's awesome. If you guys have never been musked on, by a retic especially, I'm just letting you know, it's something I could definitely, yeah, I could definitely live without that. All right, buddy, come here. Ooh, you're jumpy right now too. Come here. You're all right. You're all right. Come here. Never had an issue with you. Come on. Are you in blue too? No. You're musting too. Great. Both of them did it. That's awesome. Let's see if John can control his snakes or the snakes are going to control John tonight. The retics might. Alright, so a retic. Is a retic the best snake out there? Well, if you pay attention to positive pythons, a lot of people say yes. Going back to it though, I'm going to have to tend to agree. I fell in love with retics when I went to Prehistoric Pets. And just I've loved them since before then, but I didn't really get the opportunity to spend time with them and really watch them and gauge the intelligence that you see out of them. Gauge just how amazing they really are. Like, as babies fresh out of the egg, like I've got to spend time with them now at all stages of their lives, whether it's baby or hatchling or freaking sub-adult, adult, whatever it is. This is a very, very laid-back dude, besides the fact that he musked me as soon as I pulled him out, which they both did. So they're kind of on the same cycle. They eat the same days, on the same temperature, obviously, but I actually got this I got this from a US ARC auction at Pomona, and this was produced by Cashman, and it is a Sunfire, 66% pied, and then 50% albino. What does that mean, must? It means that they not only peed and pooped on me, but they left their scent. Like, they opened their scent gland as well while they were doing it. And if you ever get hit by it, it lingers no matter how much I wash my hands tonight, how many showers I take or anything like that. I'm gonna smell it. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. But so retics are my number one, but here's the sidebar to that. And this is where Garrett is gonna really love me, probably. Garrett has talked me into falling in love with the super dwarf retic. So retics are my number one because we have a version that gets 20 plus feet if you want a mainland, or can stay around 4 to 6 feet if you get a dwarf or super dwarf. And yes, they are a little bit more expensive, guys. If you want to get into retic life, you're gonna pay money for it. But absolutely, 100%, without a doubt, retics are my number one passion at this time. I think there's just so much going on with them right now that you just can't beat them. I'm going to continue to take care of ball pythons and breed ball pythons just because I'm going to be honest, I don't have the money to get into breeding super dwarfs. Like, it's going to take me probably a couple of years before I can even get a male-female pair and even start down that market. But I think it's amazing. Like, you can follow it straight to the locality. The locality can tell you exactly the size that you're gonna get within like 6 or 7 inches. And you freaking, they're pushing, like, it's such a long process, but they're pushing the morphs that are on these mainland retics into the super dwarfs now. But it takes a very, very, very long time to work that mainland blood out once they get the coloration that they want into them. But it's definitely something that I want to get into myself. It's definitely something that I look forward to getting into. I will have a rack, hopefully, dedicated solely to super dwarf retics and breeding them, as well as ball pythons. And I just love them. I love, like I said, the intelligence, how docile these guys are. They're just big puppy dogs. They're huge puppy dogs. So, to recap, retics and super dwarf retics are number one, whether it's a mainland or super dwarf. I count them as the same species, so we're going to say they're number one. It's a wide range. You have a lot of color variety. You have a large size variety. So, number one. Number two is the carpet python. I have a thing for larger snakes, if you can't tell. I love my ball pythons. I love the color schemes that come on them and everything like that. I will always be excited about ball pythons. But I love how big carpet pythons get. There's something about the man in me, the little boy in me still at 30 plus years old, that when I see a big snake, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. It's awesome. I love it. So, number one, retics. Number two, carpet pythons. And number three, what was number three? Oh yeah, it was the boa constrictor. I love it. I absolutely love it. Boa constrictor. And if you really think about it, top three they can all get pretty sizey, but they're all puppy dogs. They're all big old babies. So, I love it. I'm going to go to my snake room to see large snakes. I cannot wait for these to get large. I do enjoy berms, Iron Dog. I think I'm going to look at getting a berm, not to ever, breed, but for my education shows. Just because they're a little bit slower moving, it won't be as difficult for the children. But I love retics. I love the speed that they can move at. I love this just pure size that they can achieve, and just the intelligence, the way you see them working things out, whether it's their enclosure, where you're putting food. Like, you kind of have to move their food around because they won't go to the same spot. They get bored. And that's what I love about retics. Is I think that's really the number one thing for me. Like, forget the size differences, forget the colors. I could go with a wild retic, like just the coloration on a wild retic, purely for the beauty of it and the intelligence that these animals have. Like, my retics have never eaten, and they have pretty small enclosures right now, but they're babies. When they start growing larger, I'll start growing their enclosures. But they have never taken a meal in the same spot twice. And I don't know if anyone else pays attention to that, but I kind of do. Like, this guy loves to be up and bask a little bit and be on top of his hide where he's up, but he won't eat up there. He'll go to the corners, and he'll never be in the same corner. He always moves when he knows it's feed day. So it's kind of cool. Like, it's like he's playing a game with me as I'm playing with him. So that's what I really enjoy. That's what I think. What's up, Javier? Retics are number one. Plain and simple. Retics are number one. And I'm super happy to have two of them. Both of mine are mainland, so I'm gonna have two 20+ foot snakes, more than likely. I will probably do 1 year of breeding with them if I can accomplish it. I do know they can get kind of agitated with each other and attack each other. So, not that that's not uncommon with snakes in general, but it seems to be a little more prominent in larger constrictors. So, excuse me. That's what I believe, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. We're gonna get this out. It looks like right at 40 minutes. So we already recapped this video. Thank you guys for joining so much. Remember, we do have Fealys Clutch merchandise on Teespring. Obviously, it's not in the description right now because I didn't make a description for this video, but after it uploads, I'll go ahead and throw it in there. We also have on my Facebook, if you go to my personal Facebook, I am running a fundraiser for the Island of Misfit Morphs. If you feel like donating to them, or just go to their page and donate. It is a 501c organization, so it's a pure nonprofit organization, and they're getting ready to bring in a decent amount of animals, and she lives in the mountains where the winters get really bad, and she lives in an older house. So housing and caring for all these reptiles that she brings in that people just don't want to care for anymore costs her a couple $100s a month. So everything that we can do really benefits these animals in that organization. Also, if you are a YouTube creator, which most of us are, I am working in an affiliate program with TubeBuddy. Go down after I put this out, hit that link, go check out TubeBuddy. If you like it and you pick it up, it kind of goes towards me. They keep track of who clicks that link, so I'd really appreciate it if you check it out through that link. You guys have a great night. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be an edited video, hopefully. Well, no, I take that back. Not tomorrow, Wednesday. There was a couple of things I have to reshoot. So Wednesday will be an edited video, and then Thursday, Friday, we'll go back to normal. So you guys have a great night. You stay blessed, and we're going to see you soon.